So good evening, everyone, and on behalf of the Village of Cary and the Board of Zoning, Planning, and Appeals, I'd like to hereby call this meeting to order on this Thursday, March the 10th, 2022 at 7 p.m. We have a quorum of members, and this will in fact be our first ZPA meeting held in the new Cary Municipal Center. And at this time, I'd like to ask our Director of Community Development, Mr. Brian Simmons, to please call the roll.
Williams?
Present.
Kretschmer? Graziano?
I'm here.
Jasper? Nats? Laughlin?
Here.
Fine? Here. Corey?
Here. Thank you very much, Mr. Simmons. We invite you to rise with us for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks very much, everyone. So, Ms. Lallo, you do in fact have the distinction of being the first petition in 2022 and in the new building. So congratulations, you'll always hold that distinction. So at this time, I'm going to call village case number 22 ZPA 02001. The petitioner is All 4 Canine. The owner is Ms. Angela Lallo. And the request is for a variance to increase the maximum projection of an awning sign from 42 inches to 60 inches. Location is 15 South 2nd Street. And at this time, I'll ask Mr. Simmons to give us an overview of the petition.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As mentioned, the request this evening is for the property of 15 South 2nd Street, the relocating All 4 Canine dog grooming facility. Just a brief overview of the proposal, a little history of the project. As the board may recall, last year the district came in for a map amendment parking variation for the business to locate in the facility. They're currently going through our permitting process to complete the renovation of that building and those improvements. As part of the work locating the facility, they are proposing to install a sign over the main entrance of the building that would replace the existing canopy, which is presently on that facade. Per code, the maximum that a awning sign may project off the building is a maximum of 42 inches. Typo on my slide. Maximum projection is 42 inches, not 40 inches. The petitioner is proposing to utilize the existing framing, which is there for the existing canopy, which is over that entrance, which does project 60 inches off the facade. Unfortunately, due to our code and provisions in our code, that existing awning sign is considered to be non-conforming as it was existing prior to our existing regulations, and by removing that sign, replacing with a new one, the existing sign would have to comply with the maximum projection or seek additional relief, which the petitioner is doing this evening for variance. So they're seeking a variance just to replace the existing awning with a similar sized awning that would project the same projection that was currently on the property. This slide provides various standards that need to be met in order to support the variance. In general, the hardship was caused by the unique circumstances related to the land and not the general conditions of the district. The relief proposed will not alter the character of the locality, and the relief proposed generally is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the building's regulations. Based off staff's review of the request and based on the fact that the existing sign has been located in the property, staff believes it will change the character of the locality where the business is located at. The sign is generally good scale and scope with the existing building. It will be in harmony with the surrounding residential properties as well. So staff would recommend support of the variation request this evening. Should the ZPA concur with staff's recommendation in this case, the ZPA and determine that the various standards have been met in this case, staff would recommend that the ZPA approve a motion to grant the variance to increase the maximum projection for a canopy sign for the property located at 15 South 2nd Street, subject to two conditions listed on the slide. Per the 9.36 of the UDO, this request would be ZPA final. So all sign request variations are final. So be happy to answer any questions you have. Just here also.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simmons. Gentlemen, questions for Mr. Simmons?
Do we know when that original sign was constructed?
The sign probably has been up there for, I'd would say probably 10, 15 years at least, when that existing use has been in there. It predated our current code, and then the sign regulations probably were adopted in 2004.
So in other words, it was there before 2004.
It was there before our current regulations are in place. So I didn't look and see what the code was back. There was no variance that was ever approved for protection of that. But when we updated the UDO, some of our sign regulations were also updated.
Right.
Back in 19, but it predated 2019.
Did you have a question?
Nope, Jim actually did exactly what I was going for, is how long has the current 16-inch one been there?
Now the building currently.
But not any of that, because I know it's residential right there too, so I'm trying to think of any other area signs like facing Mass Street.
Oh, you,
The building in front of it has a monument sign.
Right.
mhm.
The one
Yep.
that's on
Yep,
14.
yeah,
I think
I know
that's
that.
the only other signage in the
Yeah,
area.
nothing on Second Street, right?
Correct. Her property is only property is on Second Street. Other properties that are in the zoning district have frontage.
Right.
So across from this property is the single family.
Correct.
Existing was 60 inches.
Correct.
Other questions, Sean? So, Ms. Lello, you're welcome to add any additional comments or color to the application you think is appropriate. If you want to speak, suggestion would be just to go to the podium, state your name and address, so we can record it. As you know, it's going to be uploaded to the website.
I'm Angela Lolo, owner of Welker Canine. As Brian pointed out, I'm just trying to replace the existing awning. The current awning's ripped, so we're going to replace it, put my name on it. Unfortunately, I had the awning made and then became aware of the zoning issue. So that is why I'm asking for the variance. If it's not approved, then I'll have to have a new awning remade. So that's just why I was asking for that variance.
All right, well, thank you. Before you proceed, let me just see if the gentleman has any questions for yourself. Okay, thank you very much. So this is the time of the meeting where we would open it up to the public, and for the record, besides Mrs. Lello, there's no one in attendance in the audience, and so I will close the public portion at 7:07 p.m. And gentlemen, before I call the motion, any additional questions amongst yourselves? Okay.
No, I just had my comment regarding the length of time that the site's been there. I'm sure in the, let's say, 15 years that it's been there, that hasn't bothered anybody. I can't see any reason why this isn't something that staff could have probably approved on their own, but it's not what the law says. So.
Yeah.
Right, and that's from our understanding of it too, is looking at it, unfortunately, letter of the law, the code is necessitated the variance, but I think from staff's assessment of it, it's not altering the area as significantly as our.
This is where we want to work with small businesses and it's not making them out of the world, so.
All right, gentlemen, I will call the motion. The chair will entertain a motion to approve a variance to increase the maximum projection for a canopy sign for the property located at 15 South 2nd Street, subject to the conditions listed in the staff report. For the record, I'll read them in. Canopy sign, including location of the sign, shall substantially conform to the plans and exhibits as submitted as part of this petition, except they may be revised to conform to village code requirements and all conditions of approval. 2, canopy sign shall not project more than 60 inches from the building face to which it's affixed.
So,
Right. Using the microphone.
tell me my voice projects.
Thank you, gentlemen. So, Mr. Simmons, would you call the roll, please?
Sure. Williams,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Corey.
Yes. So, Ms. Lello, you have a favorable recommendation. We wish you continued success with your business. And if anything comes up between now and then, my suggestion was, if this is a final procedure tonight, Mr. Simmons would be your continued contact in this process. I'm sure you're very familiar with that by now. But we'll wish you a lot of luck moving forward, too.
excited to
Hopefully
get the
your
new
business
building.
is-
When is the open date there?
I'm still trying to get permits for construction. So we finally got our drawings from the architect, and as soon as we get the permits from the village for that, my architect, or my contractor can start construction. He said 3 months, so I'm hoping by June or July at this point. And we have to get the parking lot put in still, so we can wait for warmer weather for that as well. Hopefully soon, it's been a long process.
Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, gentlemen, before we theoretically close the meeting, I'm going to ask Mr. Simmons if there's anything coming down the pipe on his side.
No formal petitions received as of yet, but we may have at least one case for April. And then I do have some activity taking place that probably necessitates some project hearings coming up this summer. So there has been a lot of activity locally in this facility for some projects. So be on the pipeline, but in April there likely will be meetings happening.
Any inkling as to when we may see something about Maple?
So that project, we've had some discussion at the board level regarding the property. There's a meeting with the village board and the developer. They're going back, reviewing some items that the board had requested, namely there's the access road that goes out to the northwest, the Carroll Mountain Road. That's kind of a sticking point for the board, and also the developer. So they're currently evaluating that request and whether they're going to formally submit a petition. So nothing formally has come in yet.
Okay.
The short answer for it, but there will be some additional discussion before the board if they do receive the project.
Yeah, I thought about going to the meeting where the meeting in the hole or whatever it was, and it just blew up.
Yeah, it was good discussion. I think the board had some points that they gave back to the developer, and certainly, which have to go through the public hearing process, if the were to come in, but we've had some more dialogue with the developer in the last few months, just refine some issues regarding the plan, but they're still weighing the options of pursuing the project.
Okay, just wondering.
That's a good question, Jim. I was asking similar questions earlier today. So, gentlemen, before I adjourn, anything else on your radar screens? Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
We'll set a record on